Smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right. At the function I was at today, I was sitting next to a guy who had a kid who had a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt on, and I looked and I said, and I didn't want to bring it up to the guy with his kid because he'd already said to me, "Oh, I would have loved to have jumped out of airplanes." He says, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. They didn't drag him out of the regular military army to let him do it. And I said, yeah. I said, me, it was in my contract. I said, the only reason I joined the army was because they were the military, the segment of the armed forces that had the school. So I was able to get it in my contract, and that's the only reason I joined the army, was because I wanted to jump out of airplanes since I was a little kid. And he was like, oh. And the kid had a Jimi Hendrix, and I said, Jimi Hendrix was in the army. And the dad, he says, yeah. He says he broke his leg jumping out of an airplane. He said, that's how he got out. He said to his kid, and I looked at him and I said, I should have figured that one out earlier. I could have gotten out. But all the time I was trying to survive. Who would have known? Not here to talk about Jimi Hendrix. I didn't even bother telling the guy that he and I had the same damn birthday, that Jimi Hendrix was eating Thanksgiving dinner, celebrating his birthday the day I was born, keeping my dad from Thanksgiving dinner. Didn't even bother. Well, what I realized today, being a man of many hats, many suits, especially, the suits that I have, as I'm sitting there in this function, I've got different suit coats. You always have to unbutton them to sit down. The bottom button. That's part of social etiquette. That's how they know when they come back from the future that you are also from the future and you're the one they're hunting, is you don't unbutton your bottom button when you sit down. You don't lift your pant legs so it doesn't screw up the crease. All these things. But I realized sitting there today, it's a weird thing too, sitting there and saying, okay, sit like you're in uniform. All these memories come back and you sit there and you stand and you salute and you do these things. You put your buttons on. All these things, they seem to come pretty naturally from memories, from having done it so many times, even if it was 30 years ago. But as I'm sitting there, I realized I didn't have to unbutton my bottom button. What does this tell us? I thought about it afterwards. As I was taking a pee in the backyard. Look at this. Zipper goes all the way down. Even the pants that I get in right now. I say, Jesus, woman designing these things. Somebody has no idea how a zipper works for a man when he's got to take a pee. They're just designing shit and putting shorter zippers all the time. I think they're trying to weed out big-dicked men. But you look at the jobs in the military where they make fun of people. And all you have to look at is Beetle Bailey. They made a cook look bad. The cooks are the most important people in the military. It's same as a prison. When I was in Alcatraz, not as an inmate. When I was in Alcatraz, they talked about how they had some of the best cooks in all the governmental services and stuff like that, because the one thing that would set inmates crazy was bad food. So the military itself has got a bunch of inmates. You're locked into a commitment. You're gonna feed them bad food for 4 years. You gotta have good cooks. So they talk shit about the cooks in Beetle Bailey, but the cooks are the important people. And all these different jobs. There's a job in the military while I was there that was canvas repairman. They even had one that was a technical drafting specialist. 81 Bravo, 1 Papa, with a paratrooper indicator. That doesn't even exist anymore. They've got all these jobs that people say don't mean anything, but because they don't mean anything, they send these people off and they train them to be better soldiers because they just don't know what to do with them. So they get trained good stuff. They have fun. They live. So the job I want to talk about, the MOS, the military occupational specialty. One that I don't think I've ever heard of. Maybe because there's nothing to laugh about. But basic training, I got fitted for this suit. And to this day, it fits like a glove. This suit, when I was in basic training, I was 5'8". They measured me, took all my measurements and made a suit. They do it once. And this is a suit that was given to me in basic training. I grew 4 inches after that. Look at that. Fits like a glove. Everything is right on it. It's like these fucking people could see the person I was gonna be. If they'd have measured me for what I was at the time and gave me a suit, I'd have been wearing sleeves around like this all the time. I wouldn't even be able to put this thing on. But as it turns out, they knew what I was gonna be. And I say, you people are either goddamn geniuses or stupid bastards who got lucky.